All right, welcome to my channel. So the first thing that you need to know before you start watching my videos is the purpose of this channel is for education and entertainment, mostly education with some entertainment, and mostly for my students. Really, it's an opportunity for me to showcase my algorithm and for my students to see it working and me to be able to talk about the trades and why I'm taking the trades and things like that. This is not a channel where I'll be showing you that I'm making millions of dollars. So family rules, you won't be seeing that. Some traders out there want to put their stuff out. I don't even know why they do that. Like on social media in a public sphere, hey, look at me, I made 20,000 today, 50,000 today, all that stuff. That will not happen on this channel. The most you'll see me making here is anywhere from 50 bucks to $1,000 in a day would be the most once we get to that level of scaling. And then I'll reset and we'll be looking at 50 bucks and we'll be scaling back to, a thousand a day or so. And we'll just keep resetting that scaling. But family rules will not be showing you on this my social media that I'm making tons of money. Second thing is I'm trading with Thinkorswim. That's my platform that you see here on the screen. So you got my two windows on futures trading. Same thing, it'll be Thinkorswim. So you'll see that I trade futures and the equities market with these videos. I trade based off of my algorithm, the simple switch algorithm, and it's got different settings. Same algo, but different settings for futures market, for equities market, and different types of trading. It's got different settings for it. So I'll be trading off of that. Links below if you're interested in learning more about the algo. All the education over there is free, as well as the trading log that you'll see. You can get the link below, which will give you that log, so you can go over there and explore all that stuff. So when you're looking at my screen, now when you're looking at my screen, you'll see these the chart markups, and you'll see yellow. Wherever I put yellow is an entry. So when it's yellow like this, it's the algo ideal entry. And then you may see a yellow like this, and that is where I actually got in, and it'll be touching the candle that I got in on. And then the location. Red are my stops, green are my targets. And then if you want to learn how the algo works so you can better understand what I'm doing when I'm doing my trades, over at the link below, you can go over there and learn all about the algo. It's completely free for that whole education. It's free to learn about my trading plan, my strategy, everything that I teach about trading is free over there. Only thing that costs money is if you decided to buy the algo, then that would cost money. But you can apply a lot of the stuff that I teach over there, including my strategy and trading plan, to your own strategies and help maybe improve your game. So all that is definitely free. I don't charge for any of that education. Only the algo if that's something you decided to add to your list. So then sometimes you'll see on here me doing experiments, which I'm going to try to do another one later on this year when I get a little more time. But I love to do trading experiments. We blow up accounts, but we do it in the purpose of education, showing you that certain trading techniques or strategies sometimes just don't work. And we play with some different concepts and blow up accounts, real accounts, small accounts, but still real accounts. And you'll also see some small accounts as well, like when we do offshore brokers and things like that. So, and then of course, educational videos I'll be putting out as well. So there's a lot of different content here. So if you can give me the like, hit that like button, that would help me a lot with the YouTube. And if you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you can be notified whenever I upload new content. And the last thing, but probably the most important thing, is trading is very risky. Do not place a trade based on what you see here or whatever I say. I'm not telling you what to do. If it sounds like I'm telling you what to do, it's me just thinking out loud. And most traders will lose all of their money. I am strictly speculating. I do not have a crystal ball. So, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So please do not take financial advice from me. This is strictly to talk about how I trade, to teach about how I do things, and for your entertainment. All right, so now the legal stuff is out of the way. Let's get into today's trades. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is August 25th. Here we are on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Wow, this week's going right by. So let's go back to yesterday, JD. So didn't trade JD yesterday. We just jumped in now, so that's why you see that there. I did not trade JD yesterday. As you can see, there's no, when I make trades, you can see it there. So no trades, and their biggest reason was we've had so many winners with JD. I felt like I had to have a loser or a zeroed out day. And then, so I decided not to trade it. And then sure enough, we ended up with, this was the trade right here. As soon as it got in, boom, went straight the wrong way. But I should have traded the speed bump, because even if the speed bump was a loser on it, it's basically half of what the day is. You know, the very next day I'm recovered and it's all good. I wish I would have traded the speed bump on, and that was a stupid move on my part. Could have made a lot of money on that speed bump. So here we are. We had a 0 out day, so I'm going to go ahead and trade today. So I just did that just now. What are we doing here? We got our down below yesterday's close. All right, so we're in, mark it up, and then we'll see how it goes. And if nothing else, we'll speed bump it. I am overdue for a full losing day, so you know that's coming soon. I don't know when, but I'm going to keep on trading it. And you know, I got lucky yesterday, I guess, avoiding a zeroed out day. Had yesterday been a winning day, then I would have gave up a winning day that I would need to pay for my losers, right? So that would be kind of counterproductive, especially if you're on a win streak. If I don't trade yesterday and it's a winner, then today and I don't trade, and the next, you know, 5 trading days later, we have 5 winners, I skip to try to prevent 1 loser. Doesn't really make sense financially either, right? So probably not the best idea, but sometimes when you're not in the right mind frame to trade because you're just, you know, you're feeling whatever, you're feeling emotional that day, it's better just to not trade for me, because then I can make mistakes. I get in, I get nervous, that affects my decisions. I start to like second guess what's going on, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should, and then like, yeah, it's just not good for me. So for me personally, when I'm like that, it's better for me just to step out, and if I miss out on winners, I miss out on winners. Better than to stay in and do stupid things. So no trade on JD yesterday, although I did trade my family account and do some stupid stuff and took a pretty big loss yesterday in that account, which it should have been a green day. But like I said, I made stupid decisions, and my risk reward is, you know, each one of these is my risk or reward. So 1R is what I risk 1 to make 1 kind of thing. And I took a 5R loss in a trade when I should have had a winner on it, actually. But is what it is. So good thing I didn't trade in this account, basically. That's what I'm saying. All right, cool. So we're in JD. So let's go and put our speed bump in here. And right there. So I just put my stop in. Bump this up to 2,000. Let's see if it'll give it to me. Sometimes Thinkorswim doesn't like to do it, but we'll see. All right, cool. So we got our speed bump in, ready to go. So it'll automatically do that. All right, trade set up. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so JD looking pretty good. We did get almost 90% of the way to the target. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stop now. I'm going to take my speed bump off. Let's put this back to 1,000. I usually do that right away, so don't forget. That would not be fun. Cancel 2 orders. And then let's put our stop break even plus a couple bucks. So right here, you can see on this area, it's highlighted up there. That's telling me where I got in. We're short, so I have to buy it back. Spread is 3 cents right here, 10 and 13. So break even for a couple bucks would be around 45. I don't want it to put too far down because I want to give this room to retrace and not get stopped out before it carries lower. But I don't want to take a red trade either, because once it moves almost to the target like this, sometimes when it comes back up, it just keeps on going. So I'd rather be out with a break even than to be out with a loss. So yeah, so let's see if JD will give us 2R. Right now we got low of day, expected that to be a resistance area, although we're seeing some resistance here. So the rejection that happened there. These candles are not closed down here, so really this could be our first area of resistance we got through. We're getting rejection as we did with these. But we'll see if we can break this. If we can break this, this could be pretty nice. Potentially a 3R win if we don't get stopped out on this retracement of this big candle. Yeah, we'll see. What do we got here? 3 minutes left. Tempted to move my stop to the top of this candle. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If we get stopped out here and it boosts back up to the top of this candle, maybe I'll re-enter this trade. I don't know. Let me think about it. Just retracement is likely. Let's go ahead and move it. So retracement is likely of these big candles like this. So it's not quite a tower candle because we don't have the box inside of it. But retracement is likely. But at the same time, we know we didn't breach low of day yet. So we could be inside this consolidation area. And this could end up going against us, and we could end up taking a loss because I moved my stop up here. But I think it's the right thing to do based on the way JD moves. So I'm going to go ahead and sit with that, and we'll see what happens. All right, there we go. So we're out with a $190 loss instead of almost a $400 win, $300 win. Oh, I hate it when that happens, but we may re-enter this trade. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. Yep, should have just took my break even plus a couple bucks, right? Man, that was stupid. Just barely breached the top of this candle. Watch, this is going to come down and be a 2R. I feel like I should get back. What did I get out at? Let's go find that out. Let's see here. So we got out at 74.68. Let's put that on the board here real quick. 74.68. So we got out right here. So anything, if I did re-enter this trade, anything above this would actually be good. Or if I end up speed bumping this, would be good too, which means it would have to breach this area here. Okay, so 68, so we're at 79. So if I want to put my re-entry in here for 70, 71, 72, because it's a spread still, right? So 73 would be the re-enter short. Oh, no, we're going to wait. So I could put it here, and then if it backs up and wants to come back down, then I get in and, you know, a little bit better of a price, and it all washes out. Well, at least looks like a good thing we got stopped out so far. Okay, so I'd be speed bump territory coming up here in a second. So we may be jumping into this long. Just worry that we are in consolidation between this little grouping right here. Till we break above or below, could be in consolidation. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and re-enter this short right there. And then put my speed bump in. In the speed bump location. Okay, so we got our speed bump in. And then my new average, or my new entry is, what is it, 74.88. Okay, so it turned out to be pretty good there. So there's a consolidation looking thing here. I mean, it still could go up, but we're back in the green now, so that's pretty sweet. Average 74.88 was our entry, but now we're in the green at 65 roughly. So I'm going to go ahead. I know my chart's starting to look messy, everybody. I'm sorry, especially if you're looking at it on a small thing. So 65 is where I'm green. So that's a green trade for me now. So I'm back in the green there. So hopefully we can break down from there and be pretty sweet. Get some nice profit kicking here. It's kind of a dead trade in a way because we hit about 90% of the way, came back up, should have stopped out right there for a break even plus a couple bucks, which I'm having another opportunity to take my couple bucks and not have a losing day, which I'm tempted to just do that because the trade's kind of over based on the normal strategy. Only reason why I'm playing it right now is I do see a consolidation possibility here. I'm looking for a retest near the bottom of this consolidation. Then I was going to move my stop into break even plus a couple bucks, but I'm tempted just to pull the trade off the table right now because you know, we could be you know, have a higher low, looking for a higher high. So that's the risk that I'm taking right now. But I'm looking for this to retest this area right in here, and then move my stop back to the break even plus a couple bucks, which should be like $100 lockup if we get that opportunity. But oh man, I'm starting regretting not just pulling my $80 off right there when I had it. I don't know what to do. We'll see. All right, there we go. So we're speed bumped now in JD. So we should see a nice, I already got it marked up. That's what the gray area is. So we should see a nice move higher. So we took a $387 loss total on that, which is, you know, pretty good in the sense that we're saving $120, but not good because I should have got out break even plus a couple bucks right here, and then maybe look at the speed bump play later. But either way, we're set up to still make profit on this trade when it's all said and done. Yeah, it would have been nice to just take that profit when it dipped in there, right? Man, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Trading's 2020. So nice thing right now about JD is we're approaching high of day, right? So we know this could be some resistance. And this could be the channel right here. So this could be a disaster all day long. We could take a big loss here. But if it breaks out of this, like I'm expecting based on the speed bump, then right away we're into 1R. So there's a high probability in this trade we'll get to a 2R win on it and turn a nice profit. Actually, we could turn a really nice profit. So, but we'll see. It's got to break this high of day. So right now we're trying to breach it. This is the main strength of high of day here, but it's not really broken until we get above this, which is almost in our 1R target. The other benefit to that is it's almost in our 1R target. So there's a draw to give us this 1R level, which should put us to a break-even-ish area. But I really don't want to get out there. So the bummer is it's going to get here and get rejected. And then it's like, what do I do? Do I just get out break even on the day? Or do I wait? Does it come out, and then if I wait for it to bust that, I could be looking at a consolidation, which then puts me in the red on the day when I could have been out green. And it's really about, in the end, preserving capital to fight another day. So this trade was technically pretty much like a dead trade right here. And I'm getting a little second to wind. So if this does get the high of day, I need to see how it goes. If it looks like it's got resistance and I can get out with a smaller loss or break even, I just need to bounce out. But if it smashes through, then we're good. We can go for the ride. But if it doesn't, I need to look at maybe bouncing with a smaller loss. So, if I took a $200 loss on today, it's not that bad in the sense that, we're doing $500 risk reward. It's not going to affect the scaling ladder that much. And one trade tomorrow and we're right back in the game. So not too bad. If I took a $800 loss today, then we're several days behind. So pretty important to preserve capital, but at the same time, give it a chance to do its thing. All right, so here we are. So now we're in the profits, and we are just at the high of day area. So does it breach? Looks like we got enough buying to do it, but will it do it? Will it breach fast, or will it have this issue here? We got 2.5 minutes for this candle to close. Plenty of time to smash through, and also plenty of time to pull way back, right? So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this thing, see what we're going to do here. We're getting through high of day. Getting through high of day nicely, actually. Good enough to hang out. So why it matters when you have 1 minute left, 2 minutes left, all that stuff is if we only have about a minute left and this is a full solid, there's a good chance in the last minute we're going to have some with, some making of a wick or a tail or a shadow, whatever you want to call it. And then the next candle is a good possibility we're also going to have a tail or a shadow or a wick. So kind of gives me an idea where this price may fluctuate within that candle. So if I was looking at putting my stop in, and chances are, it's going to fluctuate down because it wants to create tails and wicks like it does most of the time, then I put my stop in that zone and I'm going to get stopped out. It's almost guaranteed getting stopped out, right? So that's where time matters. But at the same time, a lot can happen if, if the candle boosts like this and there's a minute left, 4 minutes left, there's a lot of time for rejection. And right now we're starting to see some of that rejection here, but now we're getting to the last minute. So right now I would hope that we would see a little push up here and we would have a smaller wick on this candle. Really big wick, it's going to be a sign like this, is a little bit more sign of rejection, which could spook some long traders from getting in. And I want longs to jump in right now because I want to boost this thing higher. So, and if we turn into this red, then we show major rejection like that. And then there's a higher probability that longs get spooked, shorts get excited because we're bouncing off of high of day. And then this trade could go south. So the psychology part of trading is what you're kind of looking at too. You're like, what are traders seeing right now when they look at this? Traders all over the world, what are they looking at right now? They're looking at high of day. They're looking at big rejection, right? Is that a trade you want to get long to? No. If you are long in profit, are you looking at maybe getting out? Maybe. Like there's not a lot of confidence here, so there's a little bit of wishy-washy. But breaking high of day, a nice big strong candle boosts confidence. Shorts stay away, longs jump in. Chances are we get a little move higher before we get into our next consolidation period. So it's kind of when you look at those kind of things, those are some of the stuff that may be happening. But we didn't get big rejection, so we just have indecision that's happening. So there's a battle taking place. We got rejection here, but we have a wick down here, still green. The fight is on basically to whether or not it's going to break out of high of day here. Until it closes above high of day, to me, it's not considered a breakout. So longs are control. So we're getting back to this high of day area. Then I look over here and see, do we have, you see the 6, the 13, all that. Do we have any unusual number pop up like 100? That might be like a wall, brick wall for this thing to get through. And if we do, then I might look at taking my trade off the table, take whatever profit I'm in, and then put my order to get back in once it gets above that major wall. That's another option that I have when I'm playing it. But right now I don't see any astronomical numbers like that. We're kind of in the normal zone here. Definitely favoring to the long side a little bit, but not much. It's pretty much a break-even battle taking place right now. I mean, I can put the level 2 at the bottom here as well, so you guys can see that. Next thing I ask myself, traders, is does this want to draw a picture? And it might be, right? We do have a potential for an M pattern here in breakdown. So now I'm getting nervous. I wish I would have been paying attention to that earlier. So now I'm going to start looking at locking in some profit here, because this trade is still kind of a dead trade. I'm just trying to make a little extra money on the day. I shouldn't be greedy. We do look like it could be drawing an M pattern. We are getting top high of day resistance. There's a little opportunity for it to come up here though. So yeah, there's some draw that's still available up here, some little magnetic power, but we'll start looking to try to take a trail of profit here if this doesn't want to bust out, because we could be drawing an M pattern and then breaking down. Okay, so we got about 30 seconds left on this candle, so I would think that we would start to draw our shadow here at the bottom, our tail. See if it's gonna give us a little tail. Okay, so I drew the tail. So I expect to close with the tail somewhere around that area in 3 seconds. And then, yeah, now we'll see what happens. We'll probably may have another little tail that'll pop in here. So if it goes down a little bit, not worry about it. We'll see how it closes. All right, so not looking good for this. This may be drawing that M pattern. Got the rejection, starting to get the sell-off. Not looking good at all. Just realized I don't have a stop in. We got 1,000 shares. All right, there we go. Get some rejection going. This is a pretty big green candle, so we'll see if it breaches this or this candle. If it does, this may be game over. About a minute and a half left. Like I said, does it want to draw an M pattern? But my trade is over after this, traders. Ooh, that's a big losing day. 727. Like we talked earlier, if I only took a $200 loss, I can recover in a half a trade. That will sting if that's what sticks. Hopefully we're on a trend here and we're going higher, but we'll see. We'll see. Do we have a trend forming? We shall see. All right, so this trade's starting to look okay. We're coming back up to this resistance area, which is, we didn't really form that deep of an M pattern to break it down, right? Would have been here. And then a breakdown. Instead, we came up, we got this little thing going, and we got more of a W pattern forming now. So once we get a break above this W, this really should launch. It could be a really, really nice profit. But we are pulling into that resistance area, so we'll see what happens. So traders, something to think about too, especially if you're a new trader, the hardest part is when you look at a chart to not to have an open mind and not think emotional about it. Like when this is coming back down, it's like, oh no, I should just get out. But what if this is normal? Like this is a normal pattern. Why are you getting out, right? So like if you're in an airplane and you're flying and it's kind of going the right direction and then it makes a weird noise, do you hit the ejection? Do you jump out with your parachute and let your plane crash? Or do you stay in, right? Like what do you do? What's normal? So, and when you can identify what's normal market behavior, normal market movement, kind of expected actions, it makes it a lot easier to look at the chart and think with an open mind and trade the chart and not your emotions, because you can look at stuff and say, yeah, that's expected. Yeah, it's retracing, it's doing this. oh, if it does this, then it means this. Kind of, if it breaks above this W pattern, chances are it's going to fly. So if I'm short, that's not a good thing. That's not, not normal for me being in a winning trade if I was short, kind of thing. So it really helps if you study up some additional stuff. I know I trade on my algo, and a lot of my students use my algo, and it's really easy because you have your entry, your targets, it tells you everything. But still, when you're looking at it, it's nice to be able to, looking at the chart, it's nice to be able to say, oh, it's normal, or that's not normal. This isn't looking good for the trade. I should get ready to speed bump it, or things like that. So just something to think about, traders. Educate yourself on what's normal market behavior. And some of those things are patterns, war resistance levels, high of day, low of day, trend lines, channels that it might form, all that kind of stuff. Big candles, big candles is one thing that I think a lot of new traders get excited about. Big green candle. Oh, it's going to the moon. I'm jumping in. Well, when that candle closes, will there be any buyers left, right? Or will people be taking profit because it's such a big candle? A lot of people are going to take profit, which then could, you could see this happen, and then you need to have some consolidation, some breathing, some energy to build back into it before it can move higher. So I don't get too excited about big candles. Same thing to the downside. You get a big candle to the downside. All right. Are there any sellers left? Is it just buyers that are going to come in now, catching a falling knife, if you will? So, it's these little ones like this that make me more nervous. If I was short and we're seeing all of this, it's like, man, this thing is just going to go forever. And then what happens when you get that big boost candle where, you run out of buyers? Now you're way up here, and if you're short, you can't go for that ride. So, when you're in and you just get this big giant drop like that, it makes it a little easier because chances are you've flushed out the people who are either long or short on these big candles. So, a lot of stuff you just look at and you're like, oh, that's normal. I expect retracement, things like that. So it definitely helps. I would highly recommend doing your homework on normal market behavior and normal market movement. And then you have your tickers. Some tickers, they have their own little things that they like to do. So, if you get used to certain tickers and seeing how they move, oh, this ticker, it's the middle of the day, it's going to get flat, or it's the end of the day, it's going to sell off. The odds are, whatever. So you can kind of get the feel of a lot of tickers too if you trade the same ticker every day. Some of you don't trade tickers, you trade conditions. You rent scanners and all that stuff. I don't rent scanners, I just trade the same ticker. But for those of you who rent scanners, you have conditions. And how does your condition act? Start asking yourself that question. When I trade these conditions in the morning, how is it? It's really volatile, it's great, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's really flat. It's, what happens during lunchtime? And then you start to get used to the, at 10 o'clock, how is it? 9:30, how is it? And you can start to get a feel for what's normal, and can make trading a lot easier and a lot less stressful when, you're in that airplane and it's making sounds, it's doing things, to be able to say, oh, it's, that's normal. It's no big deal. Turbulence, it's all good, bouncing up and down, just like the market. All good, no problem. We're still in a good orientation, right? We're still in a situation where we can fly and stay afloat. So then you don't get worried about it. So definitely look into that. Something to think about. This trade right now is normal to get resistance right here. And we really need a break out of this. We shall see. So in the big picture, for the technical traders out there, let's make this chart even more messy just for a moment. We do appear to have a wedge forming. So what will happen with this wedge, traders? Is this going to break down or break out? Right. If we forego some of this, because it's not exact, our wedge could be here. So we could be right at the pinnacle of breakdown or breakout, or maybe our wedge is out here somewhere. So what do you think is going to happen here, traders? What is going to happen here? All right, I'm going to remove that because that's too messy. All right, so you're looking at this right here. Where is the trend line? Was that the trend line and it's broken? Is this the trend line and now it's broken? Or is it actually down here? Right? Technical analysis. Where is it? A minute ago we had it over here, and we could have had it here. Where is the trend line? So that's one hard thing about technical analysis. It's very subjective. So let's go back and put our other line back up there and make it messy. have some fun with this trade while it's doing what it's doing. So if that's our wedge, then we haven't gotten there yet, right? So we haven't gotten to the end of it yet. So we could still be in the thing. But if this was it, then it's breaking the wedge and it's supposed to break down and fail. The other thing that's happening here right now is now we're seeing an M pattern show up again, right here. So right in this area, which coincides with the algo right now, could be a breakdown in a game over trade, which, man, we're so close to just get a little push and get in green and get out and call it a day. $50, see you later. But now we might lose 1,000. Oh boy. Or this is the trend line. We'll see. And this wedge is still alive. We shall find out. All right, traders. So looks like we're going to approach the bottom of this M pattern right here, and then we'll see if that becomes a bounce or does it break down fully. So we have basically a triple top happening here, and not a good sign, but not a game over either. Depending on where this trend line really is, we may have our trend broken as well. So a lot of stuff looks not so good for this trade at all. But really, until the end of the day, it's kind of hard to say where this trend line really is. So, but right now it does not look good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these, so it's easier to look at. And yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it, see what happens. Again, like I talked about when the day first started, we do have a consolidation zone here, right? And we're just inside it right now. So until it breaks below or above, we're sideways. So anything could still happen. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, there we go. So we are out of that trade. Oh, I didn't have that thing recording that, so you didn't hear the chimes. All right, so we're out 277. So money on a 0 day. Sweet. Let's go check out the trade log and see what that did for us. So we'll run over there. Okay, so here we are with the trade log. So where are we at? JD right here on the 25th, right? Today's 25th, yeah. So we had those 3 trades. Pretty crazy day, but all in all, nice way to finish it. And then if we pop over to the dashboard, that gives us 1,900 on the month, so not too bad on the month. All right, here 270. We got 2 more days, 4 more days left of trading. Maybe, just maybe, we can break the $3,000 marker. That would be good. What do we do? August. We had a red month last month in July, man. And then 2,800 we had there. So yeah, 3,000 would be nice to break that record, and be good to go. Let's go look at the scaling ladder, and there we are, 1 bar left. So 1 good trade tomorrow would be awesome. Although, let's go look at this real quick. What do you notice something here? Tomorrow is Thursday. I have a red day every Thursday. Do I trade tomorrow, or do I take the day off? What do I do? Maybe I'll trade tomorrow. I'll just trade light on the size. Or since I've had so many red days, tomorrow has to be a good day, right? You can't have every Thursday be red, right? I don't know. All right, so scaling ladder. So 1 good trade there, and then where did I need 2 good trades? And then we'll be in the $1,000 range, because this will go green, which means I'm doing 500 for the following trade. And then after that, we'll be on the $1,000 range, and then it's off to the races. We'll fill up this 1,000. We'll move to the 2,000, and then we'll move on to a couple different things. I got 3 different options to bring to you next. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. It might be a small account again, all in all time part 2. Since we blew up the first one after like 5 days, we blew up that small account all in all the time, as the rules, if you will. So it was kind of fun to do it. Made a mistake, and then that was it. And you didn't have room to make mistakes when you're like all in on full leverage. And we blew it up. So maybe we'll do that again. Maybe we'll do another small one and see what happens. There's that, and then I had a couple other little options in here to do, like trading just a cash account and showing you what's behind that and growing that, or just focusing on futures, the futures market, and during normal market hours and things like that. Because I know there's people that like futures, or looking at focusing on options. I don't know. We have a couple different avenues to go. I think it's going to be a small account, though, all in all the time. And that might blow up in a week, and then we move on to something else. So, or maybe it lasts and it becomes exciting and fun. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Have an awesome day. See you tomorrow.